Live from downtown St. Joseph, you're watching News Press Now Morning Edition.
Tracking some heavy rain as showers and thunderstorms move through this morning. I'll have more on the flash flood threat and that forecast in just a moment.
And of course, we're going to give you the power outage map as well with Jared's forecast. But we also, coming up, big national news. Shooter in the 4th of July parade. Shooting made his first court appearance. We have the latest details for you in that heinous shooting. Plus, why is the 22nd Street Bridge a little crooked? We'll tell you why as we get going on this Thursday, July 7th. Welcome to Morning Edition. I'm Ryan Hennessy. And we're going to kick things off by going right back on over to Jared Shelton. Look at what's happening outside right now.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, weather kind of that developing story this morning. We had some storms move in around 2 a.m. and it really hasn't stopped raining since then with a lot of heavy rain. We're starting to look a little bit better outside. It was just plain black a few minutes ago, but it looks like that rain's trying to let up just a little bit here in downtown St. Joe, but boy, has it been raining. We have had several inches of rain across a big portion of the area, and looking at those storms right now, you can see still lined up. We still have a little ways to go with a few of those to our west, but we've had a lot of training this morning, really through the I-36 corridor, Highway 36 corridor rather, and taking a look at that, of course, we have flash flood warnings because of all of that rainfall, including parts of Donovan County and Troy, Kansas, over towards St. Joe with Buchanan and Andrew to the east towards Cameron, including parts of Clinton County and southern DeKalb. And these go out until at least 10 a.m. and they may be extended with all that runoff taking a couple of hours to really drain. And you can see why we've had flash flood warnings because look at these estimated rainfall totals. Within the last 6 hours, 3.6 inches estimated between St. Joe and Savannah, over an inch in Atchison, and about an inch there in Maryville, with lesser amounts down towards KC. So as you head that way, not quite as bad, but it's been a wet morning, certainly a gully washer is what I would call it. But luckily, we do have a little bit of a break coming on in by midday with more chances for showers and storms and a better likelihood of those coming on in for this evening with those highs in the 80s. But main story right now, Ryan, is turn around, don't drown. Just want to put that message out there. Anybody on the morning commute, if you encounter a flooded roadway, we were just talking earlier, Ryan and I, only takes 6 inches of water to sweep your car off the road. So just be careful out there.
Yeah, with so much rain, and you just saw it, Jared, showing us it's 3 inches, over 3 inches that have come through our area. I mean, we're in ripe conditions for flash flooding, so
absolutely
be careful. That stays in effect till
10 a.m. at least, but that could very well be extended. I mean, I still hear it raining out there now, so we'll keep tracking it.
Yeah, well, yes, the reason to stay with us as we continue along with Morning Edition. Thank you, Jared. And now to your power outage map. Evergy, of course, puts out this sweet little map every time that we have power outages. Right now, we're sitting at 1,900 homes, and less than 30 minutes ago, it was at 3,000. This thing keeps fluctuating, so we will keep on putting this up this morning. But right now, we're kind of seeing spots. It looks like downtown St. Joseph has a few, and then that's fewer than 5 in downtown St. Joseph. And then as we go up here to kind of above, a little bit north side of Frederick, about 39, and that's kind of around the area of Glore Psychiatric Museum, I believe. So about 40 in that area. 50. Oh, there we go. 59. No, let's see. 138 affected in that area. Wow, that's a pretty big area there. So, if you reach out to somebody that's living in the area, see if you can help them out this morning. If they need anything to, if you have power, be a good thought to help out our neighbors. Of course, we'll keep on tracking this. Stay with Morning Edition. We'll keep you updated on the hour outages out there. All right, now to some big breaking news this morning. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has agreed to resign. NBC News, along with UK media, expect the Prime Minister to announce his resignation later. And this is actually Boris Johnson speaking right now. We're not giving the audio off that, but he has previously rejected a request by his cabinet to step down in the wake of ethics scandals. So no telling what this guy, he's a little bit of a wild card sometimes. Some people have called him our version of Donald Trump, for lack of a better term, I suppose. But he's had increased pressure on him to resign because of he's had high-profile resignations in his own cabinet. Finance minister, and education minister, who he just promoted, resigned. They were joined by a group of other ministers who also resigned. The last straw for many of these folks has been when Johnson shifted explanations about his handling of sexual misconduct allegations within the conservative ranks. We will stay on this and hopefully give you a couple words from the Prime Minister or from Boris Johnson as Morning Edition continues along. Now back to our neck of the woods inside the United States, the biggest national story. Authorities say the suspect in the mass shooting that killed 7 at a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois, drove to Madison, Wisconsin after the rampage and contemplated firing on an event there. Trinity Chavez is in New York with details on the suspect's first court appearance.
Police say Robert Cremo III confessed to the July 4th shooting during questioning. But Highland Park Police Chief Lou Jogman told CBS News that investigators still don't have a motive.
We really don't have any better understanding today than we did when we first started talking to him about the why in particular.
The 21-year-old appeared in court for the first time by video on Wednesday. He faces 7 counts of first-degree murder, with dozens more charges expected. If convicted, prosecutors say he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
The judge found that the evidence was at such a level that he could be held without bond. Also, because the fact that it is a mandatory life sentence.
After Monday's attack from a rooftop in Highland Park, authorities say the weapon left behind helped police capture Cremo hours later.
In this case, we knew the make, the model, the serial number, and then we went through with the tracing process.
A 7th victim was identified Wednesday, a 69-year-old who attended the parade with his family. Those killed range in age from 35 to 88 years old. The 2 youngest, Irina and Kevin McCarthy, leave behind their 2-year-old son. Witnesses say McCarthy died shielding the toddler from the gunman's bullets.
He was saying, "Mommy, Daddy," so I went back up to look for his mom and dad, and then I saw the scene. Carnage.
The boy was found at the scene, covered in blood. Gregory Ring and his wife Dana took the boy home and launched a search for his family. Hours later, a detective arrived and reunited the boy with his grandparents.
That is just heart-wrenching. All right, now another regional news. The former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd will likely be sent to federal prison. Derek Chauvin will be moved from Minnesota's only maximum security prison to an unknown federal prison. Chauvin pled guilty to federal civil rights charges in December, which could carry a sentence of up to 25 years in prison. Due to a plea deal, Chauvin is already serving 22.5 years for Floyd's murder, after being convicted in state court back in 2021. Andrew County Sheriff's Office is investigating a road rage incident involving the use of weapons that occurred on Wednesday night on U.S. Highway 169. The Sheriff's Office received a call around 10 p.m. about 2 vehicles driving recklessly, making improper passes, and the sound of gunshots. According to the Andrew County Sheriff's Office, deputies arrived to find a man sitting in his vehicle in a driveway with what looked like a bullet hole in the vehicle. The Sheriff's Office is in contact with the suspect, and the investigation is ongoing. A man has suffered serious injuries after a crash Wednesday night on Interstate 29 north of Rockport, Missouri. 49-year-old Charles Jansen of Hampton, Nebraska was driving a Peterbilt semi just before 11 p.m. when he fell asleep behind the wheel. Now, according to Missouri State Highway Patrol crash reports, the truck went airborne off the highway before hitting the ground. Jansen was not wearing the seatbelt at the time of the crash. He was taken to Fairfax Hospital for his injuries. And in related news, the number of fatalities for people like semi-truck drivers and other large vehicles has increased in recent years. Now, according to the most recent data from the National Safety Council, there were nearly 5,000 fatalities involving large trucks in 2020. That's up about a third from 2011. St. Joseph Police Sergeant James Tunn says other motorists should make sure they aren't in a semi's blind spot.
There's bigger blind spots in a semi. The weight means it's not going to stop as fast. You're falling directly behind it doesn't see. A lot of semis have those decals on the back that says, hey, this is where I can't see you, and that's for your safety.
And according to Missouri State Highway Patrol crash reports, there already have been more than 30 semi-crashes in 2022 in northwest Missouri, including 2 fatalities. St. Joseph residents have noticed that the 22nd Street Bridge is a little crooked. News Press Now's Quinn Ritzdorf tells us why this is actually by design.
2 years ago, St. Joseph voters approved a $20 million bond to replace 15 bridges and culverts in town. One of those bridges is on 22nd Street over the Parkway. Construction is still ongoing, but the bridge looks a little off, right? But this is by design. Instead of lining the bridge up with 22nd Street, they decided to line the bridge up with the Parkway below.
That's by design, and it'll be similar to the layout on 18th Street where the sidewalk necks down and gets a little bit closer to the roadway. That allows us to not have such a wide bridge, and the wider the bridge, the more they cost.
This is the final plan from a bird's eye view. You can see the outline of the bridge here. It's still diagonal with the Parkway below, but 22nd Street will still be straight. The sidewalks will move in a little to cross the bridge. 7 bridges are under construction with 4 nearing completion. All 15 projects are expected to be done by the start of 2024. Quinn Ritzdorf, News Press Now.
Thank you, Quinn. All right, folks, when we come back, turns out being hangry is a valid new diagnosis from a new study. Shows the link between emotions and food. We're going to get you that story, plus look at your full forecast with Jared Shelton. We'll be right back.